Hi everyone, you are highly welcome on this very channel, and we glorify the name of the Lord that we all made it in this 2021. It is a reason to thank God. Meanwhile, I would like to make known to the public the issues that are happening in Nigeria as I'm speaking to you. There is a controversy raised by a member of House of Representatives by Kingsley Chinda. He made it so vocal and so clear that the president must go. He said this is the time for impeachment of the president. He called for the impeachment of the president, and the arrow ensued in the floor of the hollowed chamber. Right. You know, in some cases, Nigerians hate to hear the truth, especially the political class. You know, Nigeria have been in a state of, nostalgia for a very long time. Nigeria is really about to implode. To tell you the fact, sitting on a keg of gunpowder. Nigeria is actually in a state of anarchy right now. But only very few people can say the truth about this. The moment you say the truth in Nigeria concerning any issues that are on the front burner, they will call for your head. They will call for your head to be separated from your shoulder. And this has been the issue that is destroying Nigeria up to this very moment. They said, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. There are a few people who can really stand up and say the truth. And when these people said what they feel or suggest how every matter should be handled, the powers that be will call for their head to be cut off. Some time ago, a sitting minister in this very present administration said the only duty of the ministers and the politicians in Abuja is just to share money, share money, share money. They called for his head to be separated. Only God knows what saved his life, and the matter was laid in a cooler up to this moment. In some other issues, people who call or they believe that are involved in NSACs that ended recently or that was, hanged in a cooler, they called for their account numbers to be frozen. People that said a lot of things concerning the administration of this Buhari, of a man, they sent EFCC to arrest them or to keep them short. And the moment the EFCC sent a warning, the only duty left for those one who said such a thing is to tender public apology. And that is why I am saying it to you publicly, that Nigeria can never return to its normalcy again. Because who is there to amend all these things that have been destroyed? There is no confidence in any human being that have elective position in the country. There is hunger everywhere. Hunger is parading like animals in the bush. Everyone in the street is feeling the pangs of hunger. Insecurities are walking like dead men in the middle of the night. The only way you see that people are not carrying guns anyhow is in the southeast or south of Nigeria. But in the rest part of you can do anything you like, you can carry your guns, you can do what you say, you want to say. Nobody will be at your back. But the moment it say, this is a Biafran, oh, you're in a hot soup. You can no more walk freely on the street. The government is filled with deception and corruption. Looting and looting and looting is the order of the day. Nobody cares whose good is God. And they never knew that what is good for the geese is good for the gander. Then they believe that we are in one Nigeria. And some animals and some idiots will come on televisions and radios and other social medias to say we believe in one Nigeria. What are you believing in one Nigeria? What do you think you believe about one Nigeria? What good is coming out of one Nigeria? Because you have a thing to defend, because you have secret interest to protect, then you believe other ones will join you to sink one Nigeria. One Nigeria to hell. What this guy is saying is the right thing at the right moment. Listen to him and make your own judgment.
Also joining me is the man who may have stirred the hornet's nest with calls to impeach the president, even against the overwhelming support Mr. President appears to enjoy among lawmakers. It's good to have you on the program. The leadership of the House is unhappy about the recent moves you made and your resolve to have the president impeached. Does this worry you?
If the leadership is not happy with me, I'm sorry about that. But you must know that as a parliamentarian, my loyalty and my allegiance is first and foremost to the people of Obiabo Federal Constituency who elected me and to Nigeria as a whole, then before you talk about the leadership. So if it is on the issue of the call on Nigerians to urge their representatives to wake up and commence an impeachment process, I don't think that I need to apologize to anybody on that issue, because I still stand on that. I think that with due respect to Mr. President, who is our father, the father of the nation, who is a statesman, who has actually sacrificed for this country, and we respect him so much, but he is not fit for purpose. That's just the position we have taken as a caucus. And this position is born out of complaints from our constituents, from Nigerians, and indeed, things that we can feel and see that is happening in the society. We need to salvage our country. It's in the larger interest of Nigeria that something happens and happens quickly.
You are also accused of having thwarted the president's coming to the National Assembly on the invitation of the House. Are you responsible for this?
I would not want to say the House. I would not even want to say the leadership, because I know that the Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, is very experienced. He's a seasoned parliamentarian and a seasoned lawyer. He's been the minority leader, he's been the majority leader, and before he became Speaker of the House. So there are things that are too pedestral that I don't think that the Speaker will be part of. I want to take it that he's the House leader, perhaps because he wants to curry favor that is going this route. You cannot say that the House, it's of the opinion that I truncated the visit of Mr. President. It's not possible. The Attorney General of the Federation came up days before the scheduled visit to tell Nigerians that we do not have the power to invite Mr. President. And I think that that is the reason for which he did not come. The President is not a coward. The President cannot refuse to come to the National Assembly because there is a call on Nigerians to urge their representatives to commence impeachment process, a process that has not even started. And this is a democracy, for Christ's sake. So what's wrong with that? That's the figment of the imagination of those who are saying that I could not have planned to embarrass the president. That's not the intention at all. It's not possible. And let me also say that I'm a parliamentarian and I've been here for 10 years. So I know the rules. You know, the impression created, it's, oh, PDP caucus, we want to embarrass president, we want to insult him, we don't have respect for the office of the president. That is far, 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 far from the truth. But we are interested in this country. This country must survive. Nigeria is almost dovetailing towards a failed state, a state where nobody can be sure of his or her security. And the essence of any state, the purpose of any nation is the security of the lives and properties of persons in that state. Where we can no longer guarantee that as a government, I'm part of the government of today. If we cannot guarantee that as a government, then the state has failed. And that is what we do not want to happen.
You and a few PDP members seem to be alone on this mission, seeing that the recognized leadership of the minority caucus is not with you on this. How does this make you feel?
Of course, no Nigerian would tell us that for the past 16 years that what we are experiencing today is being the same in the past 16 years. There is no country without issues of security. But when it gets to a level where government can no longer manage the situation, that's our concern, that's our worry. It's not the same in the past 16 years. So nobody can say, the PDP has been in power for 16 years, so what did you do? Let me also take us back to memory lane. Even when PDP was in power, I will give one example. The removal of fuel subsidy, which has been happening every other month, and nobody is doing anything. President Jonathan, a PDP president, removed subsidy, and we reconvened the House under a PDP speaker, led by PDP members. We sat on a Sunday to condemn that act and call for a reversal, and even threatened that if it is not reversed, that will commence impeachment proceeding. That was under a PDP government. You can go back to history and look at these things. It is about our country, Nigeria. APC should stop politicizing these issues and then accuse us of politicizing it.
The House leader did say you are not the minority leader and so you lack the authority to speak or act. Do you agree with this?
By our rules, principal officers are stated. So we are not part of the principal officers. But then in every parliament, you have caucuses. You have party caucuses. You have professional caucuses. In fact, you can even have a caucus of persons who believe in protecting the environment. And so the PDP has a caucus in the House. More so, the PDP caucus is recognized by law. There is a court judgment. When the leadership attempted to discipline us for speaking on behalf of PDP, we had to go to court against the House. And there is a judgment saying that, look, they have a right to associate as members of PDP caucus. And these four parliamentarians are the leaders of PDP caucus in the House of Reps. The House of Reps was a party in that suit. The Speaker was a party in that suit. The Clerk of the House was a party in that suit. And they are aware of this judgment. So the House cannot tell you that they do not recognize the PDP caucus. That would be contemptuous.
The House leadership has threatened to commence disciplinary actions should you not desist from this calls for Mr. President's impeachment. What is your reaction?
If the minority leader is the leader of PDP caucus, now when there is an election amongst the parties, because you also have other parties in the minority caucus, what position will the minority leader take as a caucus leader? Is he going to take a position in support of ABGA, or in support of Labour, or in support of PDP? There are areas where you need to take party position, and that's why you have party caucuses. I have said so. I said not the leadership under Femi Gbajabiamila, because he will not do that. He is far more knowledgeable than Ado Dogwa, who is calling for that. I can tell you clearly, I'm on camera. Ado is just playing to the gallery. He knows that it is wrong to even threaten to sanction a member for calling on constituents to call on members to exercise their rights under Section 143 of the Constitution. If the House is no longer satisfied with the provisions of that section, we have powers to amend it. We can bring an amendment to expunge Section 143 from our Constitution, so that if anybody talks about impeachment, it becomes an offense. But you can't tell me that I cannot exercise my constitutional rights if that will lead to expulsion from the House rather than be cowed. I will plead with my constituents to tolerate it.
On a final note, what really do you have against Mr. President and his government? And do you think calls for his impeachment is the solution to Nigeria's security challenges?
the bulk stops on his table. Look, presidency is not an honorary title. It's not one that is given to you for purposes of decoration. It is a call to duty. It is a serious call to duty. Over 200 million persons are on you waiting. Their future depends on what decision and what step you take and how fast you take that decision and take that step. So I think that the ball is on his table. That is where it ends. We have called on him as a parliament to change the service chiefs, bring in other Nigerians that are also competent. The service chiefs, yes, they are competent, but they've stayed there. Almost all of them are due for retirement. Change the service chiefs and bring in new hands so that we expect something new. And he does not want to do that. So what else do you want us to do as parliamentarians? We need a commander-in-chief that will lead from the front like our president promised us. A commander-in-chief that will be awake, that will talk more to Nigerians, that will reassure us and give us hope for the future. And that's why I call on Nigerians to please urge your representatives to take appropriate steps under the Constitution. Section 143, it's not an ornament. It's not just put there for fancy. We have tried it in other parliaments before us tried it. There was an attempt to impeach President Obasanjo. Whether it worked or not, it changed a few dynamics of that day. And today, I also believe that this will make a few of us to sit.
Right now, it is too late to cry while the head is off. I don't believe and I don't think this guy, made the wrong decision. It's one of those things I'm saying. If you understand some of the questions thrown to him by this analyst or this anchor lady, you can see where he's saying some members of the House of the Rep are calling for his punishment, that he should withdraw his statement. What kind of statement do you want him to withdraw? There is no single politician in present day Nigeria that never known that the mask wearing someone in the presidency is just like, the cartoon out of nowhere. They're only trying to know who we say, who we talk, who we do, who we act. Then his head will be called to be brought down to the chamber, the hollow chamber on a platter. Then how will it come to an end? That is the question. Your guess is as good as mine. Let us keep watch as the story develops more. I thank you for listening. Have a pleasant day and have a great year. See you on top.